our last celebrity guest of the day, we have Athena Brensberger, who is a science influencer, someone who you may be following on Instagram at this very moment, who is a big space fan, and we're fortunate to now be a fan of the Space Center and Rocket Fever. We're going to watch a little video. Sounds like Athena was inspired by one of our girls in STEM Club.
Hello, Rocket Fever friends. My name is Athena Brensberger from Astro Athens, and I was super inspired by STEM girls to do my own bottle rocket launch. So I've actually done a couple attempts already, which is why there's stuff all over the place. But I'm going to be doing the good old baking soda and vinegar rocket launch. So let's give this a shot and see how high I can get it. That didn't go that high. Ooh. Okay, that went a little bit higher. Ooh. I went even higher.
Oh, you did it. You did it.
I did it.
Yes, you did.
Have a good night, sir. Yay! I did it! And I had an audience. Oh, that was awesome. I love New York. I lost one of the landing legs. Lost.
All right, that was exciting. That was a great video. So you did a chemical rocket, and you had said earlier that you were inspired by our Girls in STEM Club. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So I wanted to really like test out the whole like vinegar and baking soda bottle rocket, and I really wanted to try and get it super high. And as you guys saw, there was like a huge mess, like just on the ground. There was so much trial and error. It happens. The great thing was that I actually had like an audience of like bystanders just walking by being like, yeah, you got this. Just like random people. I was like, I love New York. This is great.
Well, so we should tell everybody that you were doing that from the balcony of your apartment in New York, right? Because that's where you are. That's awesome.
Yeah. Exactly,
Again, extending the reach of the Space Center and Rocket Fever across the country.
Yes, precisely. There was like a bunch of like kids walking by too, and they're like, okay, we're gonna do that. You just need like baking soda and vinegar and like a bottle and cork, right? I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, do it with your parents.
That's
Good luck.
awesome. That's awesome. Well, like I said, we have a couple of questions from Instagram, but I have a question for you. Why are you doing this? Why are you so enthusiastic about space, and how did you start being an Instagram influencer of science?
I mean, I'm excited about space because it's just like, it's epic and it's awesome. And I feel like you don't really have to try hard to express the awesomeness of space.
True.
Like we're literally on a rock floating through space that's expanding, and everything is just like moving at really fast speeds. And that's just extraordinary. Like the first time I learned about it, I was 12 years old and got like a book from my best friend, Anika. And it was like images of galaxies. And I thought they were paintings. And she was like, nah, like these are real objects with probably like, millions of other planets. And there might be life out there.
Right.
So 12-year-old existential crisis. And I knew I had to go into it, and like went into my research, and then decided I really want to do more communications and started up Astro Athens and stuff like that.
That's awesome. That's super cool. All right. Well, so we've got a couple of questions from your Instagram followers. We have one. How much would you pay to live in a suborbital hotel?
That is such a good one. That one made me really excited to read, because I feel like just thinking about a suborbital hotel, so like being able to like see Earthrise, being able to just like see the stars without our atmosphere. I would definitely pay I think Virgin Galactic for a flight is like $250K.
Mm-hmm.
So for like a night, I'd be willing to pay maybe like $500,000. That's like a wishful price. I honestly think it's going to be like 1.5 million, to be honest. But I'm just curious, would you do it? Would you go on a suborbital flight?
Oh, I would absolutely go on a suborbital flight and stay up there. I've
Yeah.
always wanted to go into space. I don't know if I have the
Yeah.
means for a $500,000 overnight stay. So I'm going to say,
Yeah.
let's bring it down to $50 a night. And then that's the price point
Yeah.
that everybody can go
true.
for.
Yeah, I just realized like saying 500K sounds like
Yeah,
super big.
somebody out there is like, oh, that's how much we could charge. Oh, that's great. All right. So the next question is, can we someday use gravity and electromagnetic fields to travel light years with rockets? So basically, I think this question is all about different propulsion systems.
Yeah, that made me super excited to think about when Sarah was speaking, talking about like nuclear fueled rockets, because thinking about using like electromagnetism or even say picking up like the speeds around a black hole and somehow being able to escape like the gravity of a black hole and not get pulled in, that I think would help you achieve like more like definitely light speed travel. But you know, then you would be kind of broken down into like light particles. And so you may, you know, you'll turn into light. You'll be energy. You won't really be physical matter anymore. But I mean, it makes me excited to think about, because that's very science fiction, science fiction way of thinking. But who's to say that it's not probable just yet?
Yeah, so great. This is kind of a very appropriate way to kind of wrap up the day, right? So here we are celebrating rockets. You know, we're talking from a place that took people to the moon. All of that was science fiction, you know, 150 years ago. And here we are, right? So yeah, who's to say that someday the science fiction of today might not become the science fact of tomorrow?
Exactly.
Hey, I just have to say thank you so much for participating in Rocket Fever today and becoming a fan of the Space Center. Do you have any last words to say for Rocket Fever 2020?
Go launch your own rocket. I believe in you guys.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much. And can't wait to keep these conversations going more in the future.
Me too. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.